Don't do that to your people.
No, 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 no.
Laugh. Look through the viewfinder and then laugh.
No, because you're nervous. I'm trying to. It's making me laugh. Anyway, so Marianne, just tell me your name and your title and how long have you been covering the courts?
I'm Marianne Boucher. I've been covering the courts for over 25 years, and I'm field producer, story producer, I guess, field producer for the courts.
So, as you know, this video is going to be seen by students in the first year of broadcast writing class. What advice would you have for anybody who's learning sort of the news business about covering courts and police sort of stories? What's your advice?
Being there is the most important thing. Sort of boots on the ground journalism, where you have to go to every appearance. When someone gets stabbed, you might end up going to 13 of their appearances just to get started, just to get to know the players, get to know everybody who's involved from every aspect, every side, and that way you'll never miss a story. You'll be up on the side stories of the victims, the families, get to know the crowns, get to know the police involved, and be able to follow it through.
When it comes to reporting facts, what are some of the most critical things covering courts?
Well, I've been to probably 1 billion bail hearings. So in a bail hearing, basically you're listening through the chaos of a bail hearing. So you have to just be able to listen carefully to everything that's going on. You get better at it as time goes by. But if it's like a jury trial, of course, make sure that the jury's in the room, number one, because the jury's not there. Then you can't report what's happening in the courtroom. Of course, you make a note of it because it'll be good for you later to have that information.
And just, how easy is it to fall into the trap of like contempt of court? Because, if you're, like you said, if you're not paying attention, it's easy to get sort of caught into the contempt of court or reporting something you didn't hear. What are some of the things that students could possibly guard against falling in that trap?
Don't get spun by people talking to you in the hallway. The defense will always the defense can lead you astray because they have a different version of what's going on, but those aren't the facts. And you're not going to get anything new out of the Crown, and they will not help you if you don't hear what happened in the courtroom. They're not allowed to give legal advice. So you have to make sure that you're paying attention. If you have a problem with a pub ban that has been placed and they call them, it'll be like amidst all the conversation, someone's going to go, oh, there's a 517 order, and everyone will agree. Or 486. And you won't know what that means, and you're not sure that you heard the numbers right. You can stand up, not in a jury trial, but in a lower court situation, and ask the judge to clarify. If you still don't understand and it is in front of a jury, you wait till a break. You can ask the Crown to ask His Honor to clarify what are the bans that are in place. Otherwise, you will get in trouble if you don't know what they are.
Just talk a little bit about convicting people when somebody's only charged. They're not. There's difference in what you can report when somebody's facing charges, as opposed to what happens after the judge has made its ruling.
Okay, so that's a problem with the internet. Now, someone's been charged, the police put out allegations, the media puts a headline on it, and you have that permanently on the internet. So whenever this person comes up again, you're looking them up, and you get the allegations that it was a drive-by shooting. Now there's a jury trial, and it's not actually a drive-by shooting. You can't just repeat what's out there. You have to get the actual information, the actual court words that are said in court. Those are the facts.
What other advice would you have for somebody that's going, if it's your first time going to court, you're nervous, what advice would you have for them? Is there other people that you can lean on, like perhaps court clerks or?
Well, getting to know all the players is the most important thing, which is just, again, it just means being there all the time, getting to know, of course, getting to know all the clerks who are safeguarding the information. They do not want to give you the information. They see you as a threat. They're afraid of you, and so they're reluctant. But once you get to know them, they're just real people, and they will play by the rules if you are playing by the rules with them also. They know they have to give you the information. So, and also getting to know all the players, the crowns, and they become friendly, and they will help you out and steer you in directions if you need some guidance. Also, it's a small field. There's only a certain amount of people that cover it every day. And so it's a tight group where they will help you out, because everyone knows that screwing up means a disaster for you. So they will help you out. Just introduce yourself, and they're all nice people down there.
Just a couple of other words on what we talked about. What are some common pitfalls that some journalists or young reporters can fall into, and how to avoid some of those pitfalls?
I think that it's very easy to break a publication ban in the beginning, only because there's so much going on and so much conversation, and their backs are to you, so you can't you can't hear them, you can't hear the words that are being spoken. It's incredibly hard to hear, and paying attention in the beginning, it seems like you're never going to follow what's going on, but it's just a matter of being there all the time. And I'd say getting clarification is, it's very difficult to get clarification, because it's ongoing, no one has a record of it, but you can get a record of what happened. Now they have a disc you can get. You can actually just buy for $22 the whole proceedings of that entire day from that entire courtroom, and you can almost get it same day if you're that worried about thinking that you heard something you didn't hear. And also lawyer up too if it's something very controversial.
Just a couple other things, words about what are some tips that you would have, like for covering courts, but perhaps going early, paying attention to notes. If you can just sort of put those into perspective for us.
Well, I think that note taking, some people are more comfortable typing now because you can type faster, but also there's almost everything of importance you can get in a written form too, also, like a judgment, like a sex assault judgment we just got today. We just had to make sure that we got a copy of it. You go to the clerk's office, they'll give you an actual hard copy of it. But of course that means now you haven't sent out your Twitter because you weren't sure of what exactly the judge says. So you can actually ask the Crown maybe if she heard what you heard. But I guess note taking by hand, I don't know if people still do that, but typing, and listening and tweeting and typing and answering your phone, it does become troublesome in court for sure.
And what about,
I don't have a solution for that. I'm just saying that's a huge problem.
What about going there early, making sure you get a good seat and those kind of...
Oh yeah, of course popular trials are going to fill up, and in the beginning media were allowed to sit at the front, and now Victim Witness Services has taken over that position, and you're not allowed to sit behind the accused, which means you're actually 4 rows behind the action, even if you get there early, and that's the best seat possible. So we're getting further and further away from the action, so yeah, getting there early is important.
Anything else you want to add? If this was your daughter or your son going to cover court for the first time, what advice would you give them? I would say write down what you're hearing and you're seeing, and write down everything that you're hearing and seeing too. Pay attention to the accused and the accused family. I guess an overall view of what's happening is important, not just focusing on one person like the witness. And don't be afraid to walk up to people. The whole court thing is about cold calls. You have to walk up to someone who's lost a loved one and introduce yourself and say you're sorry for their loss. I'll be here covering this trial, and I'm going to come every day, and it's important to me to get to know you, and I want to cover this properly. Is there anything you want to tell me? Do you have any pictures you want to give me? So now you're with the family, and then you can do the same with every person there. Thank you, Marianne.
You're welcome.